Hello everyone! Today, we will join fishermen in the United States to explore how they catch millions of king crabs across the country. King crabs are one of the most premium and valuable seafood species in the United States, especially in the waters of Alaska. King crabs are typically large, with leg spans reaching up to 1.8 meters and weights ranging from 4.5 to 12 kilograms. They primarily live in cold, deep waters, usually at depths between 20 to 200 meters. Their diet consists of small crustaceans, mollusks, and small fish. The king crab fishing industry in Alaska was once considered one of the most dangerous occupations, but it also provided high income for fishermen. In the early 1980s, during the king crab fishing boom, boat owners earned between $1 to $2 million per season, and crew members made $60,000 to $70,000 each. However, in recent years, the king crab population has significantly declined, forcing regulatory bodies to implement harvesting restrictions. According to data from the North Pacific Fishery Management Council, NPFMC, the 2023 king crab season saw a major adjustment in the total allowable catch, TAC, with the limit set at only about 975 tons after 2 consecutive years of closure due to insufficient marine resources for sustainable harvesting. King crab fishing is one of the most dangerous occupations, but offers high economic value in the United States, especially in Alaska, where thousands of fishermen participate in the fishing season that lasts only a few weeks to a few months each year. To catch the valuable king crabs, fishermen use specialized traps, typically steel boxes designed to withstand high pressure from deep seabeds ranging from 60 to 120 meters, 200 to 400 feet. Inside the traps, they place strong-smelling bait, such as herring and cod, as these are the preferred food of king crabs. After setting the traps on the seabed, each trap is marked with a buoy that has distinct colors and symbols, helping fishermen easily locate the traps when they return to harvest. The traps are typically left on the seabed for about 24 to 48 hours, which is enough time to attract king crabs without compromising their quality from being kept too long. When it's time to harvest, fishermen use hydraulic winches to pull the traps up from the seabed onto the boat. This moment is crucial during each trip, as it determines whether the catch will be successful. If lucky, each trap can contain anywhere from several dozen to over 100 king crabs, providing a significant income for the fishermen. Once the traps are brought aboard the boat, fishermen begin sorting the crabs on the spot. Those that do not meet the minimum size requirement, usually under 7 inches, or females carrying eggs, are thrown back into the sea to maintain the king crab population. The crabs that meet the standard are stored in temperature-controlled seawater tanks to ensure they remain alive upon arrival at port, as fresh king crabs are much more valuable than frozen ones. the Alaska king crab fishing industry is a crucial part of the US seafood economy, with a total value reaching hundreds of millions of USD each year. However, it is also one of the most dangerous professions, with a death rate over 80 times higher than other industries due to rough seas, harsh weather conditions, and the risk of accidents when operating heavy equipment. Despite these dangers, many fishermen continue to pursue this job because a successful fishing season can earn them up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, making it a dream job for many people in Alaska's coastal areas. According to regulations by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, king crab fishing must adhere to strict standards regarding size and weight to protect marine resources. Crabs that are less than 7 inches long and weigh under 7.5 to 8 pounds, 3.4 to 3.6 kilograms, are returned to the ocean to ensure the sustainable development of the crab population. This is part of a tight fishery management policy designed to maintain the natural king crab stock and prevent overfishing, which could lead to a significant decline in their numbers. The crabs that meet the standards are kept alive in seawater tanks aboard the vessel to ensure optimal freshness when they arrive at port for export or distribution to the consumer market. However, keeping king crabs alive on board is not a simple task. King crabs can suffer from thermal shock if the temperature is too low, leading to freezing and shell breakage. Additionally, the species' cannibalistic behavior complicates the preservation process. If crabs are kept in the tank for too long, they may attack and kill each other, significantly reducing the harvest. Specifically, when a crab dies in the tank, it releases toxins that can contaminate the entire water, affecting the remaining crabs. Therefore, fishermen must continuously monitor the crab's condition in the tanks, promptly removing any that show signs of distress to ensure product quality and minimize risks during transportation. King crab fishing in Alaska not only provides a massive income, but is also considered one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Fishermen face extreme weather conditions, high waves, freezing temperatures, and the risk of accidents while working on the deck of a ship in the middle of the ocean. The king crab fishing season in Alaska typically takes place in the fall, primarily in the icy waters of Alaska and the Aleutian Islands, where sea temperatures can drop below 0 degrees Celsius. This condition not only affects the health of the fishermen, but also makes operating equipment and harvesting crabs more challenging. According to statistics, the death rate in king crab fishing is approximately 80 times higher than in other industries, making it one of the most dangerous jobs in the US. After being harvested, high-quality king crabs are stored in ice-filled tanks with added oxygen to maintain their freshness before being shipped to markets. The main markets for Alaska king crabs include the United States, Europe, and Asia, where the demand for this premium seafood is steadily increasing. Thanks to modern logistics systems, king crabs can be airlifted to high-end restaurants in Japan, China, or France within 24 to 48 hours after arriving at the port, ensuring perfect freshness when served to customers. Despite the dangers, Alaska king crab fishing continues to attract many fishermen, as a successful season can bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in income. This has created a unique allure in the king crab industry, a sector that not only generates high economic value, but also symbolizes the courage and extraordinary endurance of the laborers in Alaska's coastal regions. Alaska's king crab fishing industry is one of the most tightly regulated industries in the United States, with strict regulations from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, aimed at protecting crab populations and ensuring the sustainability of the seafood industry. Only certain species of king crabs are allowed to be harvested at specific times of the year, and similarly to lobster fishing, only male crabs that reach a minimum size of 7 inches or more are permitted for legal capture. Crabs that do not meet the required standards, or female crabs carrying eggs, must be released back into the ocean to help protect the natural reproductive cycle and ensure that the crab population is not overexploited. This policy not only helps balance the marine ecosystem, but also ensures a stable supply for the king crab fishing industry, guaranteeing long-term yields for future generations of fishermen. However, behind the high economic value of premium king crabs, the life of fishermen is filled with numerous dangers. King crab fishing in Alaska is considered one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, with a mortality rate 80 times higher than other industries. Statistics show that, on average, one fisherman dies every week during the crab fishing season, mainly due to drowning, hypothermia, and work-related accidents on board. More than 80% of fatalities in this industry are caused by falling into the sea or thermal shock, as fishermen must work continuously in harsh weather conditions, temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius, and waves as high as 10 meters. A moment of carelessness or a sudden change in weather conditions can almost certainly lead to falling overboard and death. Additionally, working on large fishing vessels, where fishermen must handle heavy ropes, winches, and traps weighing hundreds of kilograms, significantly increases the risk of injury from impact or becoming caught in the equipment. Despite the risks, a successful crab fishing season can bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars for each fisherman, making many willing to face the dangers for the opportunity to get rich. The king crab fishing season in Alaska typically runs from October to January, lasting only a few short months, but the boats must operate continuously for 20 to 22 hours a day, with no time for rest, in freezing conditions and strong winds. It is this harshness that has forged the steel spirit of Alaska's fishermen, who not only gamble their lives with the ocean, but also play a key role in turning king crab into one of the most luxurious seafoods in the world. Featured in high-end restaurants in the US, Japan, South Korea, and Europe. The strict regulations of NOAA and the rigorous government control over the fishing industry not only help protect the marine ecosystem, but also strike a balance between consumer demand and the conservation of natural resources. By implementing scientific management measures, the king crab fishing industry not only sustains sustainable yields, but also ensures the livelihoods of thousands of fishermen in Alaska who sacrifice their sweat, effort, and even their lives to bring one of the most expensive and valuable seafood products to the world. Despite the inherent risks, king crab fishing is still considered one of the most lucrative jobs in the fishing industry. A successful fishing season can help a fisherman earn anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000, and for experienced captains, this figure can exceed $300,000 in just a few months of work. This is the driving force behind many fishermen's willingness to face towering waves, snowstorms, and life-threatening risks as they venture into the icy waters of Alaska in search of wealth. For them, king crabs in the ocean are not just a source of income, but a priceless treasure that demands sacrifices of sweat, strength, and even lives. However, the vast ocean is not always gentle. Waves ranging from 6 to 10 meters high, strong winds, and water temperatures that can drop below 0 degrees Celsius are constant harsh challenges for the fishing boats. Any mistake while handling winches weighing hundreds of kilograms or even a single slip on the slippery deck could result in serious accidents or even loss of life. According to statistics, the mortality rate in king crab fishing is approximately 80 times higher than the average for other professions, with dozens of fishermen dying each year from drowning, hypothermia, or workplace accidents. Nevertheless, if successful, each voyage can bring in tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, not only improving the fishermen's lives, but also motivating them to keep returning to the sea, knowing that every trip is a confrontation with danger. Not only does the king crab and lobster fishing industry serve as a crucial source of income for fishermen, but it is also an essential part of the US seafood economy. According to the Maine Fishermen's Association, this industry generates hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue each year, while also providing jobs for thousands of workers in coastal communities. From Alaska to Maine to Washington, fishing ports are bustling during each fishing season, with hundreds of vessels arriving, bringing in fresh catches of crab, ready to be distributed to domestic and international markets. Beyond the economic aspect, the seafood industry holds an even greater significance. It is the fishermen who serve as the bridge between people and the ocean, bringing fresh, delicious king crabs from the deep sea to the dining tables of families. The journey from catching, preserving, to transporting is no easy task. It is a chain of work that demands dedication, skill, and resilience. Every crab that reaches the consumer undergoes a rigorous quality control process to ensure freshness and food safety. These fishermen, quietly working amidst the vast ocean, play a crucial role in the food supply chain, helping sustain the marine economy and preserving the value of one of the world's most precious natural resources. The fishing of king crabs in the waters of Alaska and the Aleutian Islands is not simply about casting nets and hauling them up. It requires meticulous preparation, with traps weighing hundreds of kilograms placed at depths of 60 to 120 meters below the cold seabed. Maine lobster, one of the finest lobsters in the world, is also caught through a sustainable process, allowing only those reaching the minimum size to be harvested, helping to maintain the balance of the marine ecosystem. If you've ever tasted butter garlic grilled lobster, steamed king crab, or king crab hot pot, you've likely experienced the sweet natural flavor, firm, aromatic, and full-bodied meat, which is distinctly different from other seafood. Particularly, high-tech farmed shrimp today not only ensures consistent quality, but also meets international standards, supporting the sustainable development of the seafood market. Share your thoughts on dishes made from lobster, king crab, or high-tech farmed shrimp. Which one is your favorite, and what impresses you the most about the journey of seafood from the ocean to your dining table? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section.